Okay. Hi, guys. Happy Monday. It's Monday, June 20th. For those of you who may not have been in the team page this morning, we posted the Success Club update for the month. So please be sure to check that out. Remember that this month you are getting the training webinar with Marcus Buckingham when you hit Success Club 5, which I'm actually pretty excited about. Also, if you did not listen to the National Wake Up Call this morning, please, please, please make sure to catch the replay. Anybody who is currently working full-time needs to listen to this call. Erin Young is fantastic. The call was unbelievable. She really gets the point across about how to balance this business with a day job. What? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. So make sure that you listen to that replay, whether you dial in or listen to it on the podcast. So I am going to jump right in. I'm so excited to have Samantha speak on our call today. She was supposed to come on last week, and I had a big snafu with my schedule. So I'm so happy that she had today open to hop on and talk with us. She's going to be talking about recruiting quality coaches. I hear this all the time, and I've done some live videos in the team page about this. But you're going to be hearing it from somebody else today. She is a 2015 Premier Coach. She's a six-figure earner, a five-star diamond, Success Club 10 legend. She is here to share her best tips with us. So thank you for being here, and thank you for sort of dealing with my kind of crazy schedule last week. And having today free to hop on and chat with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited. Do you just want me to jump in, or?
Just go ahead. I mean, if you want to share a little bit about yourself, a little about your story. I have them running in and out. I'm going to listen, but I'm going to mute myself so that don't bother anybody.
Okay. So I guess just a little bit about myself and my story before I jump into the tips. I started as a coach in October of 2013. Which is when I really started, just because I wanted two things. One was to hold myself more accountable, because I was the person that always loved fitness. I was always trying to work out consistently. I was always running. I was running in half marathons and whatnot, but I just wasn't consistent with my workouts. And so I wanted to stay more accountable to my goals. And then I also started with Turbo Fire. I actually was a client first. I was not convinced on Shakeology. So I was like, I'm only getting Turbo Fire. And I loved so much how that program made me feel. Not only the changes in my body, but also my mindset. I had completely, the biggest aha moment for me initially was when I forgot to weigh myself on one Friday. And that seems like such a small thing, but back then, through 2.5 years ago, was when every single Friday and sometimes during the week, I would weigh myself, and I would base my happiness on the number on that scale. And that one Friday, I completely forgot, and I was like, oh my God, not only did I forget, but I don't feel like I need to. I'm totally fine with how I'm feeling right now, and I feel great. And so I didn't weigh myself, and that was like the one, okay, this is really working if I didn't have to weigh myself and I'm feeling better. So I believed in the products, and I felt so positive that if I could just help one person in the same way that my coach had helped me just by introducing this program to me, then I would love to help that one person who's kind of stuck in that mindset more so than needing to lose a bunch of weight. So that's why I decided to sign up. And then most of my success came from really wanting to pay off my student loans. I worked full-time for 2 years while coaching, and this past September 18th, I think, was the day that I put in my notice. Now it's my last day of of working full-time, and now I'm a coach full-time. But for those 2 years, I told my coach, what do I need to do to earn $100 a month? Because that was my goal. All I wanted was $100. And what do I need to do to continue to meet more people? Because one of my fears before signing up was that I had heard that you need to help 3 people each month, but I was nervous that I would run out of people really quickly. So those are my two things that I asked my coach, and she was like, okay, to reach that, hit Success Club every month And here are some ways to expand your network. So really, right out of the gate, I was hitting Success Club. And I didn't hit it my first month because I wasn't on Shakeology HD because I didn't know I needed to be. So that I always kick myself for. But ever since then, I've hit Success Club because I've made it a priority. And with leading with the intention to help and getting Success Club points, my income grew, my team grew, everything exploded in my business. So Success Club is always the basic. But I went to the New Leader Conference this past January because I ended the year last year as a 3-star. And one of the things that stuck to me was how to attract more quality coaches to your team. And since then, I've really placed an emphasis on attracting quality coaches, and even a little bit before January. And now I'm a 9-star qualifying diamond. So hopefully they all maintain rank for 6 weeks, which is the hardest part. But and I really do think that it's all because of who I'm attracting now. So I'll just jump into the tips that I have for you guys, and I have a presentation. So let me share my screen. Okay. So I think actually I updated this to 6 tips, but I'll have six tips for you guys to recruit quality coaches. And the very first tip, hopefully, is kind of like a duh, Sam, like obviously we need to do this. But the first tip is just to share your story and realize that it's our job to share our stories. And it's kind of exciting when you think about it like that. Like, we get paid to inspire others by sharing our healthy lifestyle, by posting our healthy meals, by posting about our workouts, by recording a video of the Country Heat sneak peek that's out today, by posting what inspires us to our followers. So just by doing these things, that's our job, is to share our story. And so not only do we want to share all of those things and what we do on a daily basis to live healthy lives, but more importantly, we want to breadcrumb our life through our posts. And this is something that I'm all about these days, because a few months ago, someone on the National Wake Up Call, I don't even remember who it was, but she said that she's never sent a cold invite. And I'll be the first to tell you that my business has been built on cold invites. Not cold, like I friend people, I get to learn more about them, but I always end up saying, hey, would you like to join my fitness group? I always send that invite. And so when I heard that there are people out there and top coaches that have never had to send a cold invite, that they attract people to them, and they have people messaging them saying, hey, I'm interested in joining, I was like, oh my God, what are they doing? I need to figure out what it is. And I even posted in the Wall, which is the team page for 5-star diamonds and above, and everyone was saying they just breadcrumb their life. They share their life. They share their story. They share their struggles. And so this is the most important part of sharing your story, is really breadcrumbing your life. And I watched this one video. It was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, and it was the most impactful for me. And since I had watched that video, it really switched my mindset, switched my posting around, and has attracted more people to me. So I'm happy to announce, doing less cold invites. And the main takeaways from that video were those 4 bullet points. The video talks about what your past like, what did you like about it, what did you do about it, and what do you love about it now. And so often, if you go to maybe your page or somebody else's page, when they are sharing more about their lifestyle, they talk about those last 2 points. So what did you do about it, and what do you love now? So maybe something like, I woke up today at 6 a.m. because I really wanted to feel motivated, and I got in my workout, and since starting this lifestyle, I'm feeling so great. And while that's inspiring, it's not really connecting with anyone. Someone might say, oh, good job, or oh, she's on a roll. But using that same scenario, if you included what your past was like and what you didn't like about it, for example, in the past, I always slept in because I hated getting up in the morning to go to a job that I hated. I felt miserable, I felt unhappy, and I disliked my body. Now I'm in the routine where I wake up at 6 a.m. every day to work out and read personal development. Now I feel empowered and motivated and encouraged to help others. Like, that is so much more powerful because you shared what was your past like and what didn't you like about it. And I think the reason it's so powerful is because you're connecting with those people who are where you were when you started your journey. So sharing what you were like, how you felt, actions that you took, good or bad, will relate to you or will relate to your followers and make them have that connection with you enough to take action. So that when you do an invite to a coach recruiting opportunity, they will reach out to you and they say, I've been following Brianne for, 3 months and I feel like we're the exact same person, but look at where she is now. I want to join that What is Coaching call she's doing. And then the last tip within Share Your Story is have a call to action. And I had a huge wake-up call for this because I had done a cold invite, invited someone to my group, and she was very respectful and said, I'm fine where I'm at, this is why, but it seems like an amazing opportunity. You should post about it more. And I was like, oh, I post about it all the time. I feel like I post about it too much. And so then I went to my page just to check to see when the last time I posted about it was. And I went to the photos tab. So I didn't just scroll. I went to the photos tab. And number one, there were no obvious recruiting posts. So nothing that said like join my group or anything like that. And there were no call to action. So I sometimes did post like maybe a selfie or like a Flex Friday type thing and mentioned my group, but I didn't have a call to action to let people know that they could join me. So what I tell my coaches now is our Facebook pages is our storefront, and your store is closed if you're not posting and if you don't have a call to action. So you always want to make sure your followers know that they are invited. So include any action, and I gave you some options here, like, comment, share, tag, email, fill out this form, anything like that. Tell your followers what you want them to do. Tip number 2 could be a whole training in and of itself, but I'm just going to breeze over this because it is really important, especially when finding the people you want to attract. And when you think about it, if you're on this call or listening to the replay, you are prioritizing your business. You are a girl boss. You want to make a difference in your life and your family's life. You are putting in the work, and you want someone just like you. You want someone motivated enough to join this call at 2 p.m. Eastern time or to listen to the replay. So you want to find someone as empowered and motivated as you are, or even more. And the way that you do that is by creating your avatar. And think about what are their struggles, because all of us had one struggle some way or another, some form or another, before we started coaching. So think about what that is for your client. Not only that, but how do they feel? Thinking about their feelings is what will propel you to make an even deeper connection. So not only what they're struggling with, but how does that make them feel, and how did that make you feel? And you use those two things really for your posts. Everything that you post should relate to your one specific avatar. If you try and target too many people, you're going to miss them all and not relate to anyone. So be super, super specific in the person you want to attract and post so that you attract them. Post about what your struggles were, which are likely their struggles. Post about how you felt, which is likely how they feel right now. Also, how can the coaching opportunity help them based on their struggles and their feelings? For example, with me, at the time, I was looking for another source of income, but I wasn't struggling with income. I was struggling with accountability, and I felt like I could not stay consistent on my own. So I don't even remember how my coach attracted me to the coaching opportunity, but I was drawn to the accountability piece. So if my coach said, you could become a coach not only to make more money, but also to hold yourself accountable and follow this consistently and see results, I would have been like, bam, done. Like, the accountability piece is what I needed. And how can you help them? So with this, as you know, Beachbody products can be found on Amazon, on eBay. I've had some of my clients say they see them in like Walmart and stuff. And they can buy the programs anywhere. They can join any coach. I don't even know how. There's like over 450,000 coaches in the network now. They could join any single one of us. So think about you yourself, your goals, your tactics, your motivation, and how can you help them? Why should they join you? So one thing for me is I am very, I guess, goal oriented, and I am very much into a to-do list. So I need to know, give me these 5 things to do and I'm going to do it. And I know that my avatar also loves to-do lists and loves planning. So when they join my team, I'm going to give them a step-by-step action guide to help them hit the ground running. So that's just one thing that I tell people when they join my team. When you think of all of that stuff, then I challenge you guys to create a photo, just because, especially you visual learners, it's really easy to relate to a photo rather than just text on a piece of paper. And so this is my photo. It's actually Hillary Duff, and I didn't mean to Google her. I actually searched for gray t-shirt, skinny jeans, and heels, because I was like, that's typically what I wear. That's what my avatar would be wearing. And she came up, and I love this photo because it's not a Starbucks cup, but she's drinking water from a cup, which I was like, oh, it's probably from Starbucks, which I love Starbucks. She's wearing hot pink or red lipstick, which I usually wear as well when I go out. And she looks very casual. So I'm not attracting anyone that's trying to be like all dolled up, just a simple, lipstick, let your hair dry type girl. And so that's my photo. That's who I picture every post of mine. And then to the right, you'll see some, qualities about her. Some as small as she's optimistic. She likes facials. Her favorite color is hot pink, and she loves glitter. And those things, while they seem so small, you can use them to your advantage. So anytime I get a massage, I am posting about it. Not mostly just to relate to people, to relate to these people who love massages. You'll see in almost all of my posts, I use glitter if I'm like using Rana to make it cool. There's glitter in there, and it's to attract people who like glitter. In my team name is Team Supercharged, and in the logo, there's a hot pink lightning bolt. Enjoy going to cafes, so I post probably too much about my love for coffee. So it's small things like that where when you're breadcrumbing your life, including things like this that your avatar also appreciates, will get you further in connecting with that person. But I will say the most important piece is what you see at the bottom. So my girl, I named her Brittany. She needs like-minded fitness friends. She's looking to lose weight, but she's not consistent with fitness and nutrition. She thinks cardio is the only way to lose weight. She's not seeing results. She's worried Shakeology won't work and concerned about the cost to sign up. So those are her current struggles. And you want to use that as post ideas so that you're kind of squashing their concerns before they even tell them to you. So when I post that I used to be a gym member and I would do the treadmill for about 40 minutes, sometimes I'd hop on the elliptical for 20 minutes, and then I would do some abs. And I never saw lasting changes with that until I started these workouts. So sharing how I can relate to her on that level kind of like squashes that excuse right before she can even give it to me, and gives her encouragement that what we have to offer will work. Or the very last one, I think everyone is concerned about the cost to sign up. Part of it is they don't know the cost and they think it's going to be really expensive, and then they might not be able to find it in their budget. So just sharing, how did you fit it into your budget? How do you actually save money on your groceries because you're drinking Shakeology? Things like that. So think about the good, the bad, the ugly, and most importantly, their feelings. How are they feeling at this point? Because that's how you can relate to how you used to feel. Okay, so now it's time to find your coaches. This is actually fun for me to do because you get to think about where will your coaches be. And so often, Beachbody coaches are on Facebook and Instagram, and that's it. And I think it's because we're told that, at some point, maybe like the top coaches all found massive success on these platforms. But I want you guys to really think about where will your ideal clients be reached? For example, when I started with Turbo Fire, before I even got a challenge pack, I found my coach on MyFitnessPal. I was on Facebook, but never active. I had recently started an Instagram account. but I was very, very active with my fitness pal, logging my food, logging my exercise, and interacting with other people and looking at the community message boards. So for me, that's where my coach found me. So think about all the different ways you can meet people. Yes, Facebook, Instagram, MyFitnessPal, Pinterest. I put the Google image there because I was also the person who I was always Googling like most effective workouts, or I bought a juicer. And so I was Googling like juice plans for weight loss and things like that. And when you Google things, you stumble across blogs usually. So if your ideal client or coach is Googling things, then you might want to create a blog just to have all of your information in one place. Even other sites like Snapchat, Periscope, any platform you can think of, face-to-face, network groups, mom groups, PTA meetings, anything like that. So think about where will they be and try and think outside the box. Don't get stuck in just Facebook and Instagram. Then based on where your ideal coaches are, how will you reach them? So an easy example is on Instagram. If that's where your clients and coaches are, you'll reach them by hashtags. So you'll want to search for hashtags that they will be using in their posts. If they're on Pinterest, for me, I search for people that share gluten-free recipes on Pinterest because I used to be gluten-free and I can relate to them on that. Or most recently I searched do-it-yourself tank tops. And so I saw people that were creative and created their own tank tops. And so you can find it just by searching for them there. Again, if you have a blog, what should you be blogging about so that they will be attracted to your page? So think about where will they be, and then how will you reach them so that you're able to actually connect with them. Step 4 or tip 4 is to actually invite them to something. And my very first bullet point here, which I wish I like bolded and made the full slide, is lead with the opportunity, not the discount. When I first signed up as a coach, the term discount coach did not exist. I had no idea what that meant. And I still remember the first call that my coach had, and she was like, okay, so I just heard this awesome idea about discount coaching, and what we do is this, and we can even get them their shakes for free and all of that. And it was just like, mind was blown. But before that, the only option I had if I wanted to build a team was to invite people to the opportunity. So don't forget the power of leading with the intention to have them work the business, not leading with the intention to have them get discounts. If you attract a discount coach, they're joining for the discounts. If you attract someone to the opportunity, they're going to want to work the business. And to improve your businesses, to increase in rank, to grow your income, you need coaches that want to help other people and want to work the business side. So lead with that opportunity. The way that I invite people right now is by giving them compliments. I ask about the opportunity and I end with confidence. So for example, I could say something like, like, hey girl, I saw your post on my newsfeed and you are looking awesome. Congratulations on losing 25 pounds. You must feel so great. Have you ever considered becoming a fitness coach? I feel like you would be so amazing on my team, and I know that you could help so many more people than you know. So something like that. Compliment, ask about coaching, and end with confidence. I've been ignored, as all people are, all coaches are. I've been ignored with that, but I've never, ever had a negative response. The most common response is, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. No, I've never considered it. And I'm like, really? You'd be so good. Would you be open to me sharing more with you about what I do as the coach? So short and sweet, but really give compliments and share why you think they would be so good. Another good tip, especially if you're a new coach, is have something to invite them to. Because I know as a new coach, it can be scary if you invite someone to the opportunity and they say, sure, tell me more. And you're like, oh, I just joined a week ago. How do I know what to say to them? So using and leveraging the events that your team does for the coaching opportunity can be really helpful. So I'm not sure what your team does, but some ideas here are a sneak peek event. My team does a 1-hour event through a Facebook event page once or twice a month. So we're always promoting one of those. Some teams do business opportunity webinars. And you can also promote your new coach training. Again, I'm not sure what your team does, but we have a 28-day training on Facebook. So towards the end of the month, I am following up with everyone who was interested and reaching out to more people saying, our team is starting a brand new training where you're going to learn this, this, and this. We start next week. Would you be ready to join, or are you interested in learning more? Step 5 is the follow-up. And it's true what they say. The fortune is in the follow-up. I actually give you guys scripts here of what I use with different examples. So if you get someone to join an event, you can use what you have there, simple, hey, how did you like the coaching event last night? Do you have any questions that didn't get answered from last month, from a few months ago? The key, with my journey, I think I took about 2 months, maybe 3 months overall. 1 month to get me convinced to even try Shakeology. Then I got the sampler pack. Another month for me to get a challenge pack, and another month for me to say, okay, coaching is for me. So I am totally fine with people saying that they need time or now is not a good time, because that's how I was. But realize you need to follow up with them. They will be ready. They're just letting the information settle and waiting for a better time for them. So my 2 tips with following up is, 1, make it personal. So you can definitely use a standard script like the one that I have here, but add in anything personal. Like if we're following up from an event, hey, Brianne, how did you like the coaching event last night? I saw that you liked the post about Shakeology. Have you tried it? Do you have any questions that didn't get answered? Add something more personal in there. And with any follow-up, end with a question so that they will be way more likely to respond, rather than if you say, let me know if you have any questions. Just say, do you have any questions? And then at least they're going to say no. If not, they'll open up and ask you some questions. And I just added this slide for you guys. I know it's not about recruiting, but I think a big part of recruiting is helping your coaches succeed once you get them signed up. So I just have a few things here of, once they do sign up, how do you help them succeed? And the first thing is, remember to focus on their goals. We may want them as our next rockstar coach, or we may want them to hit Success Club. But if they really just signed up because they want to test out coaching and focus on themselves, that's fine, totally fine. We need to give them their space to see results with their program. Or if they say, I want to be a diamond coach in 2 months or this month, then we know that right out of the bat too, and we'll give them action items to hit that goal. Have a getting started right call, and on that call, always at least outline what Success Club is and what Emerald is. For my coaches, I set up a call with them after they watch a new coach training video that my coach actually recorded. And in that video, it talks about Success Club, what it is and how to hit it. It talks about Emerald, what it is and how to hit it. And I think it even challenges them to hit it in their first month. So right out of the gate, they know that those are 2 of the goals that they should want to hit. Also, one thing that's been really successful for me is helping them host a challenge group. I never really put myself in the shoes of some of my coaches, because when I first joined, I was the coach I wanted to host a group that very next day. So I was like very ready to jump into learning more about what a group is, to promoting it. And I was such a go-getter, but not everyone is. And hosting a challenge group can be pretty scary for some coaches. So what I do now is I do offer them the opportunity to host their own group, and I let them know I'm here for you to help you create the event, to help promote it, blah, blah, blah. Or you can join my next challenge group and invite your clients into the group. 95% of my coaches do that second option. They join my group and they just focus on inviting people in there. And those people that choose the second option of joining that group, I then create a message thread in Facebook called I think I call it like the date of the group. So like June 13th fitness group prep. So long name. I just couldn't think of anything creative for it. But I throw all the coaches in there that are inviting people to the group, and I ask them questions that will prompt action so that I make sure that they're inviting. I ask them, like, share the names of the people that you're inviting today. Or I'll say, here's my script that I just sent out to 3 people to invite to our challenge group. I'll ask them questions like that to make sure that they're inviting. But my question that I love asking is, what objections are you hearing? Because a lot of new coaches feel like they are being rejected almost. Like they don't know the difference between an objection and a rejection. They think, oh my God, they said they don't know what the group is about, so they're not interested. And I'm like, no, you just need to say, oh, would you like to share more info with you about what the group is? So they get pretty defeated easily if we're not there to say, you're actually doing a really great job. This is what I would say, and just kind of be that buffer for them. And lastly, remind them of their goals. So the very first tip here was, what are their goals? So a lot of times coaches get discouraged because they're hearing no or whatever. They get thrown off. And I think as their coaches, if we're able to remind them of their goals and say, you wanted to help 3 people this month. You already helped 1. You are so close. You can totally do this, and kind of motivate them. Or you said that you wanted to get to Emerald rank this month and you're definitely on track. How can I help you get there? So being that motivator and supporter for them to not only help them, but remind them of the goals that they set for themselves. Oh, and so this is my last slide, is a challenge for you guys. The first challenge is breadcrumb your life. I want you guys to do 3 posts or more this week that share your life on your page using the 4 steps that I talked about on the first tab. So sharing what was your past like, what struggle was it, what did you like about it, what did you do about it, and how do you feel now? Sharing that page, I want you to invite 5 people to the coaching opportunity 5 days a week. And if you're not a new coach, I want you to invite 5 people, but try a different platform, especially if you're not seeing results. I was just talking to a diamond coach of mine today, and she's like, I'm on Instagram and just no one is talking to me for like the past 2 months. And I'm like, you can stay on Instagram, but switch up what you're saying, or try Snapchat, try MyFitnessPal, try Facebook, try a different platform, because people are everywhere. And so limiting yourself to one place is kind of like kicking yourself in your foot, like you're not going to get very far. So be open to trying new things, new scripts, and new platforms. So everyone should be inviting 5 people 5 days a week using one of the platforms. And lastly, if you have not done the avatar training and created your avatar, again, that could be a whole nother training, but I definitely recommend that you do that, just so it'll help you with your post ideas and recruiting ideas. And that's it. Do you guys have any questions?
This was great. Thank you. I love what you said in that first slide about those 4 points to your story. Have you ever been to an Eric Worre training?
No.
Because we went to one of his live events. I took some of the diamonds back in April, and that's what he talks about, is how you break down your story into those 4
cool.
points. So it was great to see that. What? Okay, well, go ahead, Adam. And if you guys, anybody on the call, if you haven't done an avatar training, we had Juliet Henderson on our call back in, I think it was the fall sometime, and she did a whole training on that for us. So go back and watch that if you haven't done that training, because it's really good. Everybody's on the phone. Let me see if I can unmute the lines and see if anybody has any questions.
I don't have any questions, but I was thinking the same exact, the Eric Worre. It was like to a T.
Yeah.
Where does he do the events? Are they all over?
Yeah, so he does the big event in Vegas at the end of the year. It's like in November or December, but he did a whole bunch of one-day events. and he was here in Dallas.
Oh, cool.
Like in April, and a bunch of us went. So that was pretty cool to do.
What the hell was that, Sebastian?
Does anybody have any questions? All right. Guess nobody has questions. I thought this was great. Thank you so much for breaking it down. I think it's really important for coaches to kind of hear about this in so many different ways. And I think for the people that need to sort of see it as they hear it, this was a great call. Thank you so much for taking the time this afternoon. I know in the middle of the day, it's kind of crazy, especially during the summer.
I love that it was during the day.
I appreciate you taking the time to hop on with us today.
Yeah.
And I hope this was informative for everybody. Thanks, guys, for hopping on, and we will see you next week. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye.